Welcome anyone to my YouTube channel. This is Everett, aka Two Beasts to Kill You, aka the Beast with the Least. And I don't know if this would be considered late, or maybe, enough time has passed to actually make this video. But I'm going to be talking about you obviously can see the title of the video. Digimon Story Time Stranger versus Pokemon Legends ZA, or Digimon versus Pokemon. But let's go ahead and hit that intro. Alright. So, yeah, obviously if you read the title of the video, maybe a little bit clickbaity, whatever. But this is more of a, I don't know, a call to arms that, hey, Pokemon can be better. Just because of me being a fan, obviously, of the Pokemon games, and me loving Digimon Story Time Stranger so much. But let's go ahead and get into what the subject is. The Digimon game versus the Pokemon game of this year, 2025. And I know I said maybe a little late. I don't know. I think a little over a month now. Digimon Story Time Stranger came out October 3rd. Whereas Legends ZA came out October 16th. A little over a couple weeks after. And Time Stranger. So we're a little over a month after at least Story Time Stranger, a little over a couple weeks after Legends ZA. We've had enough time to play both games. And I just wanted to talk about, specifically this year, why or Digimon Story Time Stranger is just the better game, and why Pokemon, you would hope, maybe will take this as a way to step up, but it's Nintendo and Game Freak, Pokemon Company. You never know. Also, I wanted to make this video because, again, it has been so, as long as it's been since the game's come out. I didn't want to do one of those things where, like, literally the day of Pokemon Legends ZA coming out, or even for some people, some YouTubers, before Legends ZA came out, Time Stranger is eating Pokemon's or Legends ZA's lunch. Digimon versus Pokemon. Hey, maybe some people preferred Legends ZA over Time Stranger, and vice versa, obviously. But also, you want to give some time to be like, okay, here's where this game went wrong, and here's where this game went right, yada yada. All right, I'm rambling too much. Let's go ahead and get into the video. So, obviously, I'm gonna get this right off the bat. This year, for me, not this year. It's not like they release a game every year like Pokemon, but for the games this year that they released, I did prefer Time Stranger by far over Legends ZA. Time Stranger is my game of the year. I know that's probably maybe a little too much, for some people. Like, it is a, whatever, game. This is that, but I really did enjoy Time Stranger. And I just could not enjoy Legends ZA after about a week. Whereas I played Time Stranger basically literally up to a few days before Legends ZA came out. I did all the side missions. I was doing everything I can in that game. I actually do want to go back so I can do the dungeons and all that stuff. Whereas Legends ZA, I did only the required side quests for a main quest, and I just couldn't even finish the game. So, let's get into where Time Stranger was better than Pokemon Legends ZA, and maybe even some things where Legends ZA was better than Time Stranger. So, right off the bat, the story. We'll go with the story. That's what the lowest common denominator, I think, in my book, a story, because gameplay is king. The story in Time Stranger is great, with you being an agent of an organization trying to stop, basically, bad guys and everything. Compared to Legends ZA, where it is your typical, like, you're trying to be the best with the whole ZA tournament, but then they add in, oh, we gotta save the city / the world by the end. And Time Stranger does the same thing, where it's like, oh, we gotta save the city, in a sense, we gotta save all of reality by the end. So yeah, the Time Stranger story just so much better with twists and turns, whereas the Legend ZA story is, very straightforward. And it's good, but the Time Stranger story is probably one of the best stories in a, in an RPG, these monster catching RPGs, in a long time. At least from what I played. I'll say that. At least from what I played. Graphics, I think we already know. The way it looks, art style, all this. Time Stranger. Again, Time Stranger just is so far ahead of what Legend ZA did. You can tell they just were like, let's just make a game, put it out there. Or maybe not. Maybe that's me being a little mean. But it looks like, let's just put a game out there. And it's, a little bit disheartening as a Pokemon fan. Then, so, that's, look, story, obviously Time Stranger. Better. Probably by a wide margin. Or at least, for me, I will say. Whether people agree with me or not, that's a whole other thing. So obviously, now we have gameplay left. And this is where, there's some aspects that Legend ZA they did pretty well, the Pokemon or Game Freak. Whereas Time Stranger just, absolutely destroyed Legends EA in certain aspects as well. And obviously, they're two different styles of gameplay. Whereas Legends EA decided to do a more, real-time combat system compared to previous Pokemon games. Whereas Time Stranger is more, traditional turn-based. Well, traditional in that it is just a turn-based game. Comparing them, I would say, is not fair. They both do what they do really well. I know I said it, I'm pretty sure I said it, in my Legends EA quote-unquote review thoughts. That's how I would like for Pokemon to now do their battle system. I think it's a better battle system than the turn-based. It makes you feel like you're actually telling your Pokemon what to do. And it's like, that feeling of when you have, games that have like shows associated with it. Pokemon has always been like, oh, you catch your Pokemon and then you do your battles and it's cool, but you don't really feel like a Pokemon trainer. At least I haven't. Whereas, you play like a Yu-Gi-Oh game after the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and it's like, yeah, you feel like you could feel like you're Yu-Gi-Oh, at least in the game, or Yu-Gi, I mean, because the monsters come alive. Obviously, it doesn't do that in real life, things like that. But so feeling like the action is going like how the show can be important for a game, especially like Pokemon, the biggest media franchise in the world. So yeah, I think the action, the real-time action combat is a much better system for Pokemon, which actually I would kind of like Digimon to go with. Although, because of the way their party system works, it would not have worked. It's not a one-on-one like most Pokemon games, or just most Pokemon battles. You do have a 3-on-3 with 2 guest characters or whatever it is in Time Stranger. So, their system works for what they're doing. Now, with that, Time Stranger, yeah, I like that you have, like most traditional JRPGs with turn-based, you have your party. Plus, I do like that they have their, like, oh, here's your characters that are following you that are going to fight alongside you. So you have your team, or your backup characters, and then, your help characters, guest characters. One thing I do like that that Time Stranger does do, and I know, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I don't know any other JRPGs or RPG games that do this, but I like this is one of the, okay, maybe I won't say this is the first game, but this is the first game that I played where it has the auto battle system. So the Digimon will just do what they're going to do. They're going to choose their attacks. Now, they can be a little stupid and choose the wrong attacks, or just like not the best attacks for the battles that they're in, but I do like that. It lets you focus on doing other things. Like, okay, I'm just heal you and then do the, what do you call it? Although you can also, what do you call it? With the auto battle system, you can increase the speed so everything goes fast. If you're like, okay, especially in a game like Time Stranger, where you want to maybe, grind a little bit in certain areas, like to make your Digimon a little stronger. Like they also have, where when you're in the open world area, or like the outside of battle, you just press a button and a Digimon will attack another Digimon and either kill most of them, kill that party that you're the enemy party, or maybe you fight like one or two of the enemy party after the other ones are gone. So it helps with grinding. And Pokemon has that too, where you just attack another character and they could either get knocked out right away, or now the fight has started but they've lost some health, things like that. But yeah, in the case of Time Stranger, having that, like, oh, when you're in the actual battle, that the battles last like maybe 30 seconds because you've accelerated the speed to max, can help with grinding. So there's just quality of life stuff like that is just very good. But yeah, so I mean, these are what these games did. But here's the thing: Time Stranger just melded all of that and just was such a great package. And games are now more expensive. $70 for both of these games. And I can tell you, I got $70 worth out of Time Stranger. And to the point that I bought the $30 season pass. Well, for both of the games, I have their $30 season passes. And I know people are upset with the whole Mega Dimension or whatever it was called for Legends ZA. But that's what it is. It's a season pass. It's, you're going to have DLC later on. It's what a lot of story-based RPGs or story-based games do. We're going to have extra story later on. Give us money now and you'll get it. But Time Stranger felt so much more worth the money. Whereas Legends ZA, it really did feel like they just did the bare minimum. And I'm not saying that they actually did, like, that was their intent. That they were like, we'll just do the bare minimum, we'll put out a game. People will buy it. But especially I know it's on Switch 1, but in essence, this is your Switch 2, your Pokemon launch title for the Switch 2. You need to go out and have, the absolute best version of Pokemon that you could make. Maybe it's not the best version of Pokemon, but the one that you're like, this shows why people love Pokemon. And they did not do that. Whereas Time Stranger, I get that it's been, I don't even know how many years since Cyber Sleuth came out. Let me check real quick. I can look that up. Cyber Sleuth came out in 2015, so 10 years. 10 years since Cyber Sleuth. There's been other games like Digimon Survive. And so, the release cadence of Digimon games is nowhere near Pokemon games. Still, supposedly Legends EA's budget was $13 million. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it's like, give this game a $200 million budget and have them make one of the best games possible. Hire way more people if you need to have more teams and all that stuff. This is Pokemon. You need to be like, this is, and especially right now too, with them doing their lawsuit against like Pow World or Pocket Pair for Pow World and everything. You need every win possible. You don't need more, as the kids say, L's. But yeah. So yeah, this year, Time Stranger. If you're into the monster catching genre, Time Stranger is the game to play. By far the best one to come out in a long time, which is kind of sad. And I would recommend Time Stranger to anyone. Everyone and anyone should play this game. Pokemon Legends EA, even for the most hardcore of Pokemon fans, play it, I guess. It's never going to go down in price, I would say. Wait till it goes down in price, but we know how Nintendo games are. They don't go down in price, so if you can find it somewhere cheaper, maybe try and get it for some, maybe $50, not $70. But yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. This is just my stupid rambling for a subgenre that I do really enjoy, for two franchises that I really enjoyed and enjoyed basically since they've come out here in America. Yes, I am that old. I'm pretty sure if you listen to my podcast, I've said my age. I'm pretty sure I've said it in other videos. But yeah, if you like what I do on this channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Go do the things. And until next time, I'll catch you later.